welcome to Goldcrest Valley for a guide too, with me, MrSealyp. The Serie 200C M82 edition tractor units, I think is probably the best way to describe them. A tracked tractor. Nothing unusual with the Bobcats, but these are old. Part of the Massey Ferguson old generation 1970 to 1990 mod pack from Blacksheep Modding. I'm going to be looking at these in this episode, but before I do, we need a little bit of an overview. So here we have it, the Massey Ferguson old generation 1970 to 1990 mod pack. There are 24 mods in this pack from Blacksheep Modding, eagerly awaited and anticipated by most people, I would imagine. Even if you're not a Massey Ferguson fan, there's some great stuff on here, some great bits of equipment. To find it, if we go to our normal shop menu on the PlayStation, left or right shoulder button takes you to the actual manufacturers. It's not in the standard Massey Ferguson. When you download it, it's the old Massey Ferguson logo. Click into the old Massey Ferguson logo and all of your downloads, your install is available. There are 24 of them, various bits of equipment. Now, I'm not going to be doing a review on everything. Certain things like plows and buckets and spikes and front loaders, and they're all pretty self-explanatory. We know what they do, cultivators, a seeder, that kind of thing. But some of the other bits of equipment I will be doing specific kind of guide tos, reviews on, because they stand out as being something a little bit different or a little bit new, unique. But there are some great mods in here, some really great mods in here. But this episode is focusing on the Serie 200C M82. It says edit, I assume that means edition, could be edit. 18,000 for the tractor unit, which isn't too bad. 24 mile an hour speed. When we go in and have a look, there are quite a few options available. You can have front loader attacher, yes or no. Engine setup, you've got two engine types. You've got the 274C, which is a 66 horsepower. You've got the 294C, which is 88 horsepower. Nothing major or massive compared to a lot of the modern tractors, but this, with all this equipment, it works really well with all the stuff that's available. And then we've got standard with sunshade, guard and cover. So I'm going to look at all of those options just so you can have a see what they look like, and you know, saves you buying them and checking them out and realizing actually that looks hideous and I don't like it at all. So that is in the store. You can search for it rather than going into, there's nothing worse than going into tractors, then going into headers, then going into front loaders and trying to find all the bits of equipment. Just go to the manufacturer, it's far easier. So I haven't put all of the tractor units here. I've put one tractor at the back there, and I've got the mower there, which I really do like that. But I'm going to be focusing on some of the other things first, and I will get around to some of these bits of equipment. There's a really nice looking baler here as well, old school, but yeah, very cool. So back over to the tractors. So I've got four options laid out in front of us, starting off with the 274C, so that's a 66 horsepower engine. Haven't put a front loader on this and nothing else. This is bog standard. This is how it comes, with nothing on, no bells and whistles. But they are great little mods. I do like the tractor units, the tracks, and it's great. Got a flashing beacon on it. Let's just hop on. Lights, obviously no work lights, bit old for that, and obviously no steering wheel as well. You've got that little bit of lean in the character as they're pulling the controls, much like a tank would be to operate the tracks. But there you go, I love it. The old, you know, chucking out all that black smoke. The more you accelerate, the blacker the smoke is. But that is great, and I do like the fact it turns on a sixpence, pretty much like the Bobcats do. pretty good for tight fields, tight farms, that kind of thing. So I'm going to show you. I'll stick the plough on it and we'll have a go with the plough in a minute, but first of all, let's, I mean, looking at the details on here, it's great. It's like I said before, a lot of the new mods now, when you get in close, you don't get those kind of blurry decals and details. It's all there. Okay, second one on the roster. Now, these do actually, before I forget, 3-point linkage on the back. On the front, no 3-point linkage. Most of these tractor units and the older ones don't necessarily always have a 3-point linkage on the front and the back, but not to worry. So the second one I've got is also a 274, so it's a 66 horsepower. This one I've got just here, you can see front loader attachment on it. You can use it almost like a little mini bulldozer if you want to, get a front bucket on and that kind of thing, and if you wanted to. If you're going to run a Seasons mod, if you can move snow around, I don't know yet. On PC, I don't play PC, but I'm assuming you will be able to. But this one is the standard version, but this is with a sunshade. So we've got front loader and sunshade. It's not the prettiest looking thing, but does the job. If you want to keep the sun off, this is the version with the sunshade. Beacon's the same, rather than just being down the bottom on a stalk, it's obviously up on the sunshade. Lights the same, runs the same, everything is pretty much identical, apart from obviously the front loader attachment and the sunshade. So our third option available, this is the 294C. So this has got 88 horsepower. We're really getting up there with the big boys. Not quite big bud territory, but you know. And this is one with a guard. So it's got the guard. So for forestry type stuff, there is in the pack a piece of logging equipment, a little rear log grab. So if you were going to be doing forestry, that cage could save your life. So that's with a guard, and the slightly larger engine size has got front loader attachments as well. You never know what you might need to use on the front of it. And then last but by no means least, we've got another 294C, so 88 horsepower, and this one is the option with guard and cover. The cover is the sunshade, basically. So it's guard and sunshade combined. So you've got with nothing, sunshade, guard, guard and sunshade. And that's what all four of them look like. They'll do the job. Very nice mods. Blacksheep Modding, you cannot fault them. Every single mod they've done have been just amazing. Their attention to detail and everything they do is cracking. These are great mods. The whole mod pack is brilliant. Having a quick sort of play with it the other day, fiddling around and trying different things out. But let's move on. Start it up. Spin it round. Now this plough is part of the pack as well, and I think it's over there already, but I thought I'd grab it. This isn't going to be taken over from Big Bud. This is not going to be a big field machine. None of this pack is. Let's be honest, this pack's going to be for small farms, tight fields. Very kind of nostalgic. I've been saying for a while actually it'd be nice to get a classic tractor pack out like they had on FS15, and this pretty much kind of ticks all the boxes. Old tractors ranging from 1970 up to 1990 and different bits of equipment. Well, that goes at a fair old lick, 9 miles an hour ploughing. I'd say it's only a small plough. You'll be able to use some of the more modern ploughs on it as long as it doesn't go above 88 horsepower. But it is a cracking little mod. I do like this. It's something a little bit different. That's what I like about it. It kind of stands out from the rest. Tractors are tractors, and you get the, you know, your Agro Stars and your old Fords and your old Cases, the ones that are all a bit more boxy, a bit squarer. And the Massey Ferguson ones in here are those era tractors. But this is something different. And yeah, I do like it. So that's it. That's the Massey Ferguson Serie 200C M82 edition tractor unit. Very nice mod. I'm seriously toying. I did say this about doing Old Stream Farm, going back and just like doing a series of just using the Massey Ferguson pack, all this old stuff, and doing kind of a classic tractor old farm type thing. But anyway, again, I digress. Great mod, brilliant stuff from Blacksheep Modding. I'm going to be doing various different ones on the different tractors available in this pack. Like I say, I'm not going to go through all of the implements because the implements pretty much speak for themselves. A plow's a plow, it does what it says on the tin, but some of these have got different functions, different options available, so I'm going to have a quick look at and run through those. Great sounds, great animations, great details, brilliant mod. Hope you've enjoyed this. Found it informative, even if it's just to have a quick look and see what they look like in the flesh rather than just a two-dimensional picture. If you have, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free, and if you want to share the video, please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do, thanks for watching.